Hello everyone and welcome to my very first YouTube video in the CPIG channel. If you're wondering about that name, I simply didn't have many good ideas and overall I'm very bad with names. If you enjoy this video, please make sure to subscribe and also to hit the like button and share the video so that I can start growing the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Apparently not all UFOs are from aliens because it seems some of them come from Earth. Yeah, this may perhaps explain the reason of why the Space Force was opened recently, which for those of you who don't know, the Space Force is a new military branch just like the Marines and stuff like that, only that for space obviously. Well, here you can see that today we will be talking about a patent, specifically the US 10,144,532 B2. Published as you can see in December 4, 2018 in United States. Now you may think that this is all made up by some crazy dude that likes to draw spaceships and write stuff on Google, but I'm making the video because actually the guy who made this is no joke. The guy is called Salvador Caesar, and guess who he is? He is an aerospace engineer that works at Naval Air Station Patuxent River. So that's why I got interested in this, because this guy brings some validity to the discussion in my opinion. As you can see in the title of the patent, this is actually a craft using an inertial mass reduction device, which seems like a pretty weird name. Now, another interesting fact to point out before we get to the real important part of the video is that here it says this invention can only be used by the US military. In the patent it says the following. The invention described may be manufactured and used by or for the government of the United States of America for governmental purposes without payment of any royalties. So this apparently can only be used by the military, which is very common for secret technology. I mean, there has always existed secret technology our governments hide, like for example, the US government had laser discs back in the 60s or 70s, but it was top secret. As you can see in the images I'm gonna show, it has a triangle form, it looks like a Doritos from the top, and now this other image I suppose is how it looks from the front. Well, some of you may or may not know this, but the shape of this spacecraft has a very weird similarity with some UFO sightings that happened some years ago in Belgium. I will try to find the video of the sighting and put it up right here so you can see. Now let's get into the technology that this stuff is using. Here it says, artificially generated high-energy electromagnetic fields, such as those generated with a high-energy electromagnetic field generator, interact strongly with the vacuum energy state. Now, what does a vacuum have to do with all this? Well, in the picture here, the line that surrounds the craft is actually what represents the vacuum. This means that since it is surrounded by a vacuum, the craft is never in contact with the air nor the atmosphere, almost as if it had a force shield. And actually this vacuum stuff for military purposes isn't all that new, because if I remember correctly, a few years back, Russia revealed a torpedo that created a vacuum underwater, which it obviously made that torpedo go super fast. It actually reached subsonic speeds because it didn't have to deal with the drag of the water. Well, that's the same case here. This craft apparently doesn't need to deal with drag from particles in the atmosphere, and so it must reach super high speeds. Now, this isn't everything, folks. Here it also talks about the transfer of vibrational energy, further induces local fluctuations in adjacent quantum fields which permeate spacetime. Now, after reading this, the terms fluctuation in quantum fields and spacetime make me draw a relation between this and the mystery of the German Die Glocke secret project during World War II. Which it was supposed to be a super secret technology the Germans were working on back in the Second World War, and it was pretty much a craft that had a form of a giant bell that supposedly worked like a UFO. And well, this German experiment seems to have a relation with this when you look at the science of how it is supposed to work. Now hold up, because we haven't finished here. It also says the following. It is possible to reduce the inertial mass and hence the gravitational mass of a system object in motion by an abrupt perturbation of the non-linear background of local spacetime, the local vacuum energy state. So it seems like it creates its own gravitational field or something like that, and this makes it have less weight to travel faster. And then it says that the physical mechanism which drives this diminution in inertial mass is based on the negative pressure, hence repulsive gravity, exhibited by the polarized local vacuum energy state. Which pretty much says that it doesn't move with any kind of propulsion, but that it rather moves with some kind of suction. So it has no thrust, it is just suction where it wants to go. Actually, to explain this further, right here it says, inertial mass reduction can be achieved via manipulation of quantum field fluctuations in the local vacuum energy state in the immediate proximity of the object system. Apparently, from what is written here, it creates a vacuum towards the direction you want to go, and so the craft is suctioned in that direction. Well, after all this, it is obvious we are talking about some technology we don't know about. Actually, some news outlet asked the government to explain further on this and didn't get any response. I believe the Drive is who reported on this. And sincerely, it seems to me that what is described in this patent is strangely similar to those UFO sightings on Belgium that I was talking about before. I don't know if this is enough to believe that not all UFOs are from aliens, but that some are actually just top secret tech from our military. I don't ask anyone to believe this information. There may even be other countries that have access to this as well, and it might even be used to travel to the moon or whatever. It is possible. However, at the end of the day, we can't ever be 100% sure until we have further evidence. Well everyone, this has been all the video. Thanks if you watched all the way until here. Please subscribe if you enjoyed and would like to see more videos from me. And remember to please leave a like and share the video to help me start growing this channel. Thanks.